Good morning. I'm Gina,
I'm Alicia.
and we're with the Partnership for Economic Prosperity, and we are bringing you our next installment in Leadership 101 with our friend Jeff Geyer from Influence the Power to Lead. Good morning.
Good morning, Gina and Alicia. How you doing? It's good to be back with you.
I agree. Alicia agrees too. She's just kind of excited because she gets to sit in the big girl room now in her house because her kids are in school. And I totally get it. I'm in my office. It feels weird. So when we last talked, we were talking about owning our destinies, right?
Yes.
So I do think that it's time to talk about probably the hardest part in this whole thing, in my estimation, setting goals. All right, that's like two words that makes the entire planet stop revolving, and everybody goes, Jeff, make it real for us.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you. The whole goal setting thing is that as soon as somebody says that, it just makes you cringe, right? But by the same time, I don't think, and boy, if I'd have had this when I was younger, this mindset or this mentor or a coach to help me, I would be in a different place, a better place. Not that there's anything wrong with the place I'm in. However, I spent a lot of my time navigating my career like a river flows, taking the path of least resistance. And what you find out, if you go through life like that with no goals and just kind of, say la vie, whatever comes, you are going to go through life taking that path of least resistance. And at the end, you'll be dumped out like a river at the lowest point. And none of us want that. Yeah. And when we really stop and think and say, okay, if I own the outcome and I own the circumstance I'm in, I must also own the process to get there. So that meandering river thing is no more for me. And I would encourage people watching this to say, you're right. I don't want to be like a meandering river. Therefore, you have to set goals. And the thing we're used to in setting goals is usually after a couple of glasses of champagne on New Year's Eve, right? Or right after midnight. Yeah, this is my New Year's resolution. I resolve that I'm going to do this. And then it doesn't happen. And whatever goal that is, I'm going to get healthier. I'm going to buy a Maserati this year, or I'm going to sell my house, or whatever it is. And the reason for that is because you didn't set a goal. It really wasn't a resolution. It was a wish. We just didn't say, boy, I wish I could have this. Well, sometimes actually we do. And so you have to set goals, and there's an easy process, right? We're back to the own it thing. I have to own the process. There's an easy process, and of course, in the land of Google, you can find all kinds of information and processes to help you. Don't click on the ones that say buy it now, because you can watch the PEP Leadership 101 podcast. For free. Your investment is your time. So yeah, don't spend money, because this stuff you can get. So the goal setting, your goals have to be, and the acronym that we use when we're coaching individuals and companies is SMART, SMART. Your goals have to be specific. They have to be measurable. They have to be achievable, or some people say attainable, right? Why set a goal? I'm going to be the first man on the moon. Well, Jeff, you can't do that because there's already been people there, right? I mean, or even if I said I'm going to be the first man on Mars, well, you're not even an astronaut. I mean, it's not attainable for a guy my age, right? So they got to be attainable or achievable. And then R&T, realistic, got to be within your reach, right? Those kind of things. And they have to be timely or time bound. Otherwise, it's just a wish.
Yes, and that is so important.
Yeah, if you don't say when you're going to accomplish it, it's nothing more than a wish. And so we kind of, Gina, break it down. It depends in the coaching environment, and we do a lot of training too at Influence, where we're training groups of people or smaller groups of people. I mean, I'm scheduled to speak to a group that's got almost 200 people in it. So, it's a different presentation than if you're doing it one-on-one. But so if you're an owner or a leader of a business, or maybe even if you're not, but you just want to make things happen. My life isn't where I want it to be, either professionally or personally or spiritually or physically or whatever it is. Set a SMART goal, S-M-A-R-T. And the first part is be specific. I don't know how deep you want to get into this.
You know what? Let's go there.
Let's go there,
Jeff.
That goal has to be well defined. It has to be really clear, right? Specific. It can't be ambiguous. It can't be, I want to get healthier. Yeah, what does that mean? I mean, define what health is. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to gain, muscle mass. I'm going to run so much distance in so much time. I mean, be specific as you can. And if you're having trouble figuring out what specific is, then start asking questions about who needs to be involved in this goal. What do I need physically to accomplish the goal, right? Well, my goal is to run a marathon, and I don't even have a pair of running shoes, right? So I got to get a pair of running shoes. That kind of get there. Where am I going to do this goal? Let's go to the fitness thing. Are you going to work out in your basement, or are you going to go to the club? And if you're going to go to the club, which club is it?
Yeah.
And when are you going to go there? And those, right? That kind of stuff. So start asking questions. When, why do I, there's a good question. Why do I even want to achieve this goal? What's motivating me to do it? So get as specific as you can. And here is the absolute key. Take a pen, not your computer, not your thumbs on your phone. Take a pen and a piece of paper and write down the answers to those questions. Put your specific goal. And this is the magic part about what we do. I don't know what it is about writing on a piece of paper, but if you commit your goals to a piece of paper, the chance of those things going up, are not the chance of them going up. The chance of your realizing that goal goes up. There you go. So write it down. So that's specific, measurable. So the measurable is you got to have specific criteria. The easiest one is to think about weight or health. I'm going to lose weight. Okay, how much? So you got to be, that's a specific part, right? And then obviously measurable, you have to say, I'm going to step on the scale every Wednesday, that kind of thing, or once a day or once a week or whatever it is. So the specific thing is, the measurable thing, it has to be, how will I know? The question you have to answer is, how will I know that I reached my goal? Right? There's a lot of people say, well, I'm gonna make this goal. Okay, what is it? Well, I'm gonna get healthier. Well, how are you gonna know when you're healthier? Right? So it has to be measurable, and companies get this one, miss this part a lot, that we are going to make a better culture in our company. Okay, how are you going to know when it's better? What are you going to measure?
Yeah.
Right. And the initial thought, their initial answer to that question usually is, well, I don't know. Okay, well, you're in the company, or you're responsible for setting the culture or maintaining the culture. You have to know. So let's talk about what those are. So some of the questions you can ask there is, certainly how many, how much, how do you know when you're going to reach the goal? How do I know? Here you go. We call them mile markers, right? Or mile posts along the way. What is my indicator that I'm making progress towards the goal, right? So there's measurable. So next is achievable or attainable. It has to be attainable. It can't be, there's all kinds of goofy examples, but the goal, it has to be within your reach. Now, here's the easy part. Not easily within your reach. Push it out there a little bit. I'm going to get healthier, and by healthier I mean I'm going to lose 5 pounds, and you're 40 pounds overweight, right? I mean, the goal should be attainable. So you say, or achievable, right? So you say, okay, I'm 40 pounds overweight. I'm going to lose 100 pounds. Well, wait a minute, that doesn't work, right? the things have to be achievable or attainable. And the questions you can ask there are there other people that have done this? And what have they done? What have others done to be successful in attaining this goal? And I'll tell a quick story on my brother. My brother likes to be, he's a high D on the DISC assessment. So very authoritative person, very hard charger, powerful thing. To him, reaching a goal that no one has ever done before, and he figured it out all on his own, has more value to it than reaching a goal that's important to him, even though other people have done it.
Yeah.
And so, you know, he wants to forge his own way. If this is the trail up the mountain, I'm not going to take it. I want to find my own trail up the mountain, kind of thing, which is fine, except it usually takes longer, and you have to be willing to fail more often if you're not following a process that you know other people have used to be successful. So, and the other question on the achievable part is, do I have all the resources? Do I even have the capabilities? You know, to do that. I'm thinking about, just for myself, if one of my goals was I'm going to write a new theory about you know, the time continuum or math, you know, I can't, yeah, right? I mean, come on, I don't have the capability to do that, right? So yeah, I've got to be realistic, which brings us to the R. It has to be realistic. Is my goal realistic? Can I actually reach it? If I actually put in the time and effort and work and resources to get there, is it reachable or realistic given the time frame that I put on it? I want to get healthy. I want to lose 40 pounds, and I want to do it in 30 days. That may not be realistic, right? I mean, those kind of things. So, and here's one that really gets people. Well, the reason I don't set goals is because I don't have time to do what's necessary to get there, right? That's the realistic thing. Well, wait a minute. Is it really a goal then? Are you going to commit to the goal? That's part of the realistic part of it. So that one for me is the realistic part is easier, because if I can think that I want to get somewhere, it's already realistic, because I thought, yeah, I can become this, or I can lose this weight. We'll stay on that one. Yeah, that's realistic to me. That's not an issue of whether it's realistic. It's an issue of whether I'm committed to achieve it. Did I put time frames on it? Have I been, you know, did I put mile markers on it so I could measure my progress? Those kind of things. And then the T is the timely one, and we've kind of already talked about it. You have to put a deadline on it. It's one of the reasons, probably the main reason, most New Year's resolutions, you know, are gone before the end of January, and it's because we didn't say when we were going to do it. A lot of them, New Year's resolutions are, I'm going to get healthy. Well, it's not a smart goal, and it certainly isn't timely. But if you said, I'm going to get healthy and I'm going to do it before the 1st of July because I want to look good on the beach, right? Well, that's a start.
Yeah.
Because now at least you got a time frame that's going to be, you know, a clock that's going to be ticking in your head to get you there. So smart goals, smart. Be smart about your goals. You'll remember that: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound is the way to do it.
Jeff, what I'm hearing, and I was trying to dig around and find a pencil here because I wanted to remember it, but your whole conversation is based on this this word that keeps coming back to me: honesty. And being able to stop fooling yourself, being able to be honest with, I need to set goals. I'm scared about them. I know that I can do it if I do the smart steps, you know, this whole thing. So how do we make that honesty less scary? That's a scary step.
It is a scary step, and that's a great point, Gina. I think a lot of times we can. I think it's part of our human condition that we don't set goals because we're afraid of not achieving them. instead of excited about the opportunity to achieve them, right? And so, in fact, I have a sign on my sits right here on my desk. I didn't intend to do this morning, but I don't know if you can see that. Starting is my first act of courage.
It really is. Starting's the hard part.
Yeah, it's the hard part. We've all heard the axioms about, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step and all that stuff. So what is it that's keeping us from taking that first step? Well, I'm afraid. Afraid of what? Why are you afraid? What, and dig into those things. Otherwise we're sitting on the couch, watching reruns of The Office and going, man, life just isn't what I wanted it to be. Or here, no, that's not the question that comes into my mind. Life isn't what I thought it was going to be.
Yep.
And we've talked about it before on the whole own it concept. We don't want to be a victim. Although sometimes we get victimized, and there's certainly people all over the world and all over our country, even in our own communities, that are being victimized as we speak. But we don't want to live there. So I have to think about, what do I want that's different than what I have? And then apply the process of setting SMART goals, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound, to that process, and then start. And we talked, and now we've done enough of these episodes, I forget sometimes what we talk about, but you need a partner. We were not created to go through this life alone for many reasons. But one of the places that will help you achieve your goals is to get a partner, get somebody that like and trust, and that likes and trusts you. And if you don't have anybody like that, then call me and I'll help you address the things that need to be addressed, right? And it'll help you get there.
The accountability. The accountability of a partner will help motivate you to reach your goals.
Yes, there's no doubt about it. And that accountability thing, that's a perfect point, Alicia. The accountability isn't a negative thing. It's a positive thing. Mm-hmm. It's going to help you get there, right? It removes the, path of least resistance kind of thing. Well, yeah, I know I should do this, but I'm not gonna. That's flowing like a river, and you don't want that, right?
Jeff, I walk away from these podcasts almost every time going, damn it, how did he hear me? Because I am constantly going, here's my day, and I can do this, and I'm doing the meandering thing, and I walk away with your voice in the back of my head a lot. So
I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you very much. But
totally
everybody needs to know, Jeff's not perfect. There are days, in fact, I had one just the other day where a very dear friend of mine kind of had to, she didn't literally shake me, but she shook me, because what I said to her didn't line up with what my mindset, what I've told her before my mindset is.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, she's right. Darn it, how did I mess that up? Well, oh boy, you get me started on this and the podcast is going to go forever. It's because we're human beings.
Yeah.
Right.
We're not perfect. We're never going to be perfect, but we strive for betterment, right? It's that whole idea of constant improvement. I'm going to get better until the day I take my last breath.
Exactly. Each day is a new day.
Each day is a new day filled with new challenges. And here's the part, opportunity.
Yeah.
Right? And there's so many accidents. How many times did your parents tell you, you can't just sit on the couch and opportunity is going to come in the living room and kiss you. You got to go get it.
Yeah, but that came from my parents.
Even when you don't feel like going to get it, make that first step, that first act of courage, own the process, set goals, make sure they're SMART, Have people like the lady that grabbed me the other day that can lovingly, right, tell you, what are you talking about? That's not who you said you are. That's not who you said you wanted to be. That's not who I know you're becoming, right? That's all personal stuff. Now, here's the thing, business owners and leaders, that applies to your organization as well. There is no difference. How many times have we talked about you don't have a work life and a home life? You have a life. Some of it you're at work and some you're at home. And boy, if you can make the work life better, the home life gets better, everything gets better. And it starts with your mindset. How we approach the day, Gina. And then do we have goals? And it's okay to have dreams too, right? But sooner or later, you're going to have to distill those babies down into a goal and get after it. Otherwise, it'll just be a dream that's out there and it'll never happen.
Right.
Jeff, you somehow create in these little half an hour moments a safe place to be meandering and a safe place to be kind of unsure about things. You make it seem attainable. And I appreciate that so much, because it is setting goals. I mean, that's like one of those monolithic things in our heads, and owning your future and being accountable. I mean, those are big deals, and you make it really approachable. And that's, I think, the little jewel in these 30-minute snippets is this moment of, hey, you can do this, that just exudes from you. So yes. I just completely appreciate you. And it is going to be an awesome day. I'm gonna think about you regularly in the morning going, hey, it's an awesome day. And then I'm going to go grab it and own it and wring it dry by the end of my day, not watching reruns of The Office for too many hours at night. I love that show.
I don't know why I thought about that one, but I did. And you're absolutely right, Gina. We can accomplish a lot of what we currently believe we can't. And there's some things, right? I'm never going to be an astronaut, even though I think that would be pretty cool. Except you say never, and wait a minute, that guy is creating spaceships that you could buy a ticket on, just as Joe Blow, person.
Yeah.
So don't say never. So.
Sure.
I after our podcast today, I'm going to go get on the waiting list for Starlink. I never thought that was possible, to have a satellite connection. And that doesn't seem like a lot, but when you were talking about the idea, excuse me, of getting on a moon landing unit, I don't know what they're called. It's just, there's so much that's possible. And if you just don't say no to some of it and think, well, okay, I'll try that. It's amazingly open and freeing.
Yes.
And then there's got to be that person going, wait a minute, what are you thinking? So.
Right. Yeah, you really have to, and this could go on for a long time. You really have to get to the place where, almost answering the big question that at some point we all ask ourselves, which is, why am I here?
Oh.
Yeah, that's a whole nother podcast.
All right, that's
a whole nother podcast. But there is a reason, and you can find it. Usually coaches and other accountability partners, like Alicia was talking about, help you find it and bring it out. It's already in there. It's been created in all of us. All of us are a little different. Thankfully, none of anybody's like me, but we're all different. We all have different gifts and talents. We all have different desires that we're all created part of us. And we can attain those things, not by sitting on the couch, but by following the process, owning the process and the outcome and the circumstances and all that stuff, setting goals, follow the process, and you will attain whatever it is your heart's desiring.
All right. Those are beautiful words to end our episode on today, Jeff. Thank you. Again, Alicia and I are with the Partnership for Economic Prosperity, where economic development for all of beautiful Latah County, Idaho. But I'll tell you what, these episodes to me just span every single boundary out there. It doesn't matter where you live, where you breathe, where you do your existence.
Yes,
The words
agreed.
are important. So
Agreed.
thank you, Jeff Geyer, and we will see you soon in another episode. Have a great
We'll see you again soon, everybody.
day.
Make it a great day. Yes.
Exactly.